welcome back to the City of Miami Gardens beginner chess lessons. Today we'll be learning about the knight, informally known as the horse, but the proper terminology is the knight. The knight is valued at 3 points, as previously stated in our earlier lesson. We will learn how to move and capture with the knight. Today we'll be using the white knight to demonstrate how to capture and move with the knight. Remember, there are always 2 knights on the board for each opponent, but for demonstration purposes, we'll only be using 1 knight, and then we'll be introducing another piece, maybe the same piece or a different piece, to show you for demonstration purposes. The knight moves in an L shape. I'm going to demonstrate on the board an L shape, with this part of your thumb representing 1 space and this part of your index finger representing 2 spaces. For easier demonstration purposes, the knight always moves in an L shape. For an example, it will be 2 spaces forward and 1 space over, which will be equivalent to an L. The knight can move in any direction, making L's across the board. For an example, if the knight wanted to move 2 spaces again, 1, 2, in a 3rd space, which will end the L, the knight may do that as well. If we remove the knight, I can show you here making an L on the board for viewing purposes. I find this to be easy to teach with using your finger, your 2 fingers, your index and your thumb finger, as a L to help you remember anywhere on the board. Making an L is where the knight can move, as long as there are 3 spaces, 1, 2, 3. Bringing the knight back on the board, I'm going to show you a few ways the knight may move in an L shape, counting 3 spaces always, with the tail end of the L being the 3rd space. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Please pause or rewind the video at your convenience. Now we're going to demonstrate how to capture with the knight. We're going to introduce 2 pieces of our opponent, which would be the black colored piece, for the game. We're going to introduce a black knight for easier viewing purposes, and we're going to place the black knight here on the board. Then we're going to introduce a pawn, and we're going to place the pawn here on the board. The knight can capture any way in an L shape, moving back and forth. For an example, if the knight wanted to capture the pawn, this knight would go 1, 2, 3, landing on the space as the final space, number 3, and capturing the pawn off the board. The only time the knight is allowed to capture the piece is if the final space, which is the tail end, the number 3 space of the L-shaped move, has their opponent piece on it, and that is the piece the knight is allowed to capture. What the knight is not allowed to do, for an example, If the knight's opponent had 2 pieces on the spaces the knight was using in order to move and capture, the knight is the only piece that is able to jump a piece to land to their next space and capture. However, this piece will remain untouched. The knight cannot capture more than 1 piece at a time. No piece on the board can capture more than 1 piece at a time. So this piece is still safe. If it is now your opponent's turn, demonstrating with the black knight, this knight can move in an L shape and capture their opponent's knight off the board. And that is how you capture and move with the knight. Please pause or rewind the video for your viewing convenience.